Morning, Abotai, Shavua Tov. We've been speaking about some of the halachot of Hechsher Kelim, of kosher vessels for Pesach. We spoke about Haga'ala, which is purging a keli in boiling water in a kli rishon. Now, a very interesting halacha is that once the kli rishon is boiling with water, once the water hits boiling point, which is 100 degrees Celsius or 212 Fahrenheit, the halacha is it koshers anything you put into it, even if the thing that you're putting into it was used with much greater heat. For instance, a pressure cooker, sometimes a frying pan, where if you're frying in deep frying, let's say falafel in a frying pan, sometimes the oil can get very hot, well above boiling point. Nevertheless, the halacha is that once you dip it into the pot of the boiling water, the boiling haga'ala water, it koshers it nevertheless. That's with regards to that. Now, stone, if you have stoneware, the halacha is that you can do haga'ala to stone, just like you can do to metal and other substances. Now, there's something that's called a shamot stone, which is like a pizza stone that you use in a fire oven for pizza. Sometimes it's made out of composite material, all sorts of materials that many poskim say can't be koshered, and therefore a pizza stone should not be koshered for Pesach, even with libun chamur. Now, also, last but not least, something that comes up in many households, there's something that's called a mixer, or it's commonly made by KitchenAid. People know it by that name. You put all sorts of doughs in there, use it for cakes, use it for bread, all sorts of different things. So over there, the halacha is, the Yalkut Yosef in Pesach writes, Siman Taf Nun Aleph, he writes that over there, even though in general it should have been enough, there's no heat over there, it should have been just enough to wash it out well with soap and water, nevertheless the halacha is that it should not be koshered for Pesach. The reason for which is, he says that many times use it with flour, and flour gets into all the cracks and crevices of the machine, and it's very, very hard to get it out. Now, if you use it on Pesach, we know that chametz on Pesach is not batel, afilu be'elef, afilu b'mashehu, it's not batel be'Pesach. So over there, most poskim say, don't even try to kosher it, because most times you'll probably fail miserably, and therefore the best eitzah is to either do without it, or to get a special one for Pesach. Don't try to kosher it. So that's with regards to that. Yeah. You can put it, even as long as you're doing it before the Zman HaIsur, which is before the 5th hour on Eid of Pesach, you can put even a bunch at a time, and the water, just like when you're being tovel in the mikveh, you can put a bunch at a time as long as the water touches everything, but you have to be careful that you don't overload it so that it brings down the water from its boiling. It has to be still bubbling aggressively when you're dipping the things in the Haga'ala water. Yom Tov, Shavua Tov.